Welcome to the All Jammed Up podcast, presented to you by One World Brewing and Devil's Foot Beverage. Today is Thursday, February 13th, and today's guest we have Cooper and Luke from the band Pickety Split.
Well, I heard old Leadfoot coming from a mile and a half away. I stepped out on the street there, and here's what I had to say. I said, hey now, slow that old thing down. This city ain't your highway, and you're tearing up my town. Now, Leadfoot, racing for the sun. Got a 502 in the North Bell, he's letting the ponies run.
Good morning, fools. Today is Thursday, February 13th. It's the All Jammed Up podcast, and I'm your host, Clint Dotson. Hope you guys all had a great week. It seemed that people really enjoyed the Lot podcast. I'm stoked to hear that. I know it was probably a little difficult to listen to, and if you were watching on YouTube, a lot of it didn't really sync up. So the people that watch it, I appreciate you. To all of our new listeners who came from that one, welcome, and tell your friends, tell your family, tell your dog, tell everybody about the All Jammed Up podcast. Make sure to follow on Instagram, like, subscribe, follow on Spotify, all that good stuff. But we have another great interview today. It's with two guys from a band called Pickety Split. They're a pretty new bluegrass band, it seems like. These guys are in North Carolina, but on the other side of the state, not in Nashville. Hopefully we can get them over here, get some shows for them. But I sit down with Luke and Cooper, and we talk what got them into bluegrass, balancing personal and professional life, or professional and side hustles. Talk about different covers and why they like doing them, and they even pick us a little song at the end. So it's a great interview. I think you guys will really enjoy it. And I also am going to be doing, weather permitting, the Lot podcast again this weekend on Friday, I hope. Possibly Saturday. It depends on the weather too. But I got some new equipment to make it a little bit better. So I have like a portable microphone that I can attach to my phone and still do video. And I might try to do some little quick hitter interviews, during set break or outside the venue while we're waiting in line, stuff like that too. So fingers crossed we'll have another Lot podcast for you guys this Monday. That's the goal, but weather permitting and all that stuff might hold us. But enough of that. Like I said, great interview coming. Here is Pickety Split, band members Cooper and Luke.
My God! Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm. What's the procedure, everyone? What's the procedure? Stay calm!
Good afternoon, everybody. So yeah, we have Cooper and Luke from Pickety Split. How you guys doing today?
Pretty good.
Doing awesome. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks for coming on, guys. You guys hit me up, and it's always cool when people reach out to me first. So thanks for coming on. So you guys went to Billy Strings last night, right?
We did go to Billy Strings.
Yeah, how was that?
It was my first time seeing Billy Strings, and I was blown away.
Yeah.
Yeah, the So Many Miles Jam was absolute peak. It was so incredible. And we were standing in line during set break in the bathroom, and I was like, man, it is just like comedic how tight they are. And like four of the guys in line were like, they're so tight, dude.
Yeah, they're super. Was that your first time seeing them?
No, I'd seen them a few times.
Okay, and are you guys going all 3 nights this weekend?
Yeah, we'll be going for all 3 nights.
What do you guys have any songs that are like bucket list that you want to see them play this week?
I Want a Pretty Daughter.
Okay.
I probably want How I Hypnosis, because that was like the first song I ever heard from Billy.
Yeah.
And also the first like Jamgrass song, and so it just like completely captivated me.
Yeah.
I was like, this is the best thing I've ever heard.
That song will take you in a trance too. I don't know if you guys like into psychedelics or anything, but I've been in a couple where that song comes on, I'm like, holy shit, what's happening here?
It's really weird.
Yeah, you can get a little like almost dark energy with that one.
Especially on the one, like that live album he put on Spotify.
Yeah.
It gets crazy.
Yeah.
He just won a Grammy for that one, I think, that album, yeah.
Oh, did he win a Grammy?
Which is crazy that I think that they gave him a Grammy for a live album and not like one of his studio albums.
Yeah.
But hey, that just goes to show. It's kind of like it speaks to like his testament of being a live musician.
Yeah.
And like carrying on that jam band kind of, torch.
Yeah, and it's cool too that Sierra Farrell won like 4, I think. So it's cool like the bluegrass guys getting some love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, the public eye, I guess.
Yeah, did Molly Tuttle win any? I know she's won a few in the past, but
Yeah.
I think that her fiddle player, Brown Keith Hines, I think Brown Keith Hines' album made it too.
Gotcha.
With Billy.
Nice. So where are you guys from?
I'm from I grew up in Charlotte, but now I'm in Catawba, North Carolina.
Okay.
Which is like an hour from.
Yeah.
And I'm actually from California, and I moved out to North Carolina a few years ago, and now I'm living in Charlotte.
Okay, did you move from California to North Carolina for music?
No, I actually moved there for grad school.
Okay.
Yeah, so I grew up in California in Temecula, if anyone listening knows where that is. It's right by San Diego.
Okay.
Or an hour from San Diego. And yeah, I went to grad school at High Point University, and I drove across the country and packed up my stuff, and I've been here in North Carolina ever since. Now it's like in 2020.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
And you guys are a relatively new band, right?
Yeah, we met 5 months ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Have you guys been playing a lot of shows?
We've been working on trying to get some more shows.
The band actually was started. The band I started with my aunt. We played. Do you know what Bright Star is? The theater production.
I don't think I do.
It's like a bluegrass musical written by Steve Martin.
Okay.
And so I played the band. They have like a live band, bluegrass band for the music of the play. And so me and my aunt played in that band. And then we met our fiddle player there. And after the show was all over and everyone was going home, we're like, hey, do y'all want to make a band? And that was probably like halfway through last year. And we're like, yeah, let's start a band.
Okay.
And let's see, after that, we had a couple gigs. We played on a radio show. And my teacher, Ben Cockman, who taught me, he was playing guitar for us at the time. But then he got more busy, so we had to take off. And then we got another guitarist. I forgot his name. But he ghosted us. And so then we were going to get another guitar player. It was that dude from IBMA. Andrew.
Yeah.
It was going to be this guy named Andrew. But then he moved to New York.
Okay.
So we're like, well, crap. And then that soon after he left IBMA, he was like, oh, you need to check out this dude I know who's a guitar player. So I went down to the jam areas at IBMA that night and found Luke. And then after like couple of songs, I was like, are you in a band? And he said no. And I said, do you want to be in a band? And he said yeah.
Cool.
And so he's been here since then.
So Cooper, what instrument do you play?
I played the mandolin mostly and some guitar and banjo.
Okay, and how long, what kind of got you started into playing that kind of instruments?
Well, like when I was growing up, all my family, they were like, you should learn piano. And I was like, no. And they're like, you should learn this instrument. I'm like, and I just wasn't feeling it for some reason. But then I was on YouTube one day, and it's really funny. I saw a video of this like Irish guy walking through a little downtown, and he saw two ladies sitting at a coffee table outside, and he's like, y'all want to hear a song? And they're like, yeah, and he whips out a mandolin and starts like shredding it up, and they love it. And I'm like, dude, that's really cool. I want to learn
How
a
old
mandolin.
were you for that happened?
I was probably like 16.
Okay, so then you picked it up and just kind of got into it. Mm-hmm. And then were you always going like the bluegrass direction?
Yeah, I originally didn't really know a lot about bluegrass, but when my teacher was teaching me, he would teach me fiddle tunes on the mandolin, and I'd go home and look them up online and listen to them. And I'm like, oh, that's really cool. And I just go down these rabbit trails of bluegrass songs.
So were you able to just like watch a YouTube video and be like, kind of hear it and just start picking?
Not at the beginning, but there was a time where I was learning. I'd pretty much gotten some scales down and chords and stuff, and I was like, I want to start making my own solos. And so I remember the first song I tried to improvise on, it was like, I think it was Cumberland Gap by Earl Scruggs.
Okay.
And after that, I just started listening to songs over and over and trying to like understand what they're doing without learning the song first, just kind of improv.
Okay.
And after I did that for a while, I was able to just like hear it and understand, oh, they're probably going to go do this, or this is what key they're in, and
That's
stuff
cool.
like that.
And how old are you now?
18.
Oh, you're only 18?
Yeah.
I did not realize you guys were that young. Okay. I asked you if you wanted a beer when you came. So you've only been playing for 2 years.
Yeah, I think 2.5 or 3, 2.5.
Okay. Awesome. So, Luke, when did you start playing?
So I started playing guitar about 5 years ago or so, but I didn't start on bluegrass. I was much doing like electric blues types, like Jimi Hendrix. Stevie Ray Vaughan was like my first real guitar hero.
Okay.
I listened to his albums and his live albums and everything over and over and over, just trying to like get those Stevie Ray Vaughan licks down. I thought it was the coolest thing, and that kind of led me into like listening to like B.B. King and like all those really, really just hard driving blues guys.
Yeah.
And that led me to John Mayer to like jam band Dead and Company.
Okay.
Because I really wasn't a jam band guy. I wasn't like a Grateful Dead guy.
Okay.
But after I started listening to Dead & Co., I started listening to Grateful Dead, and that was like, it was a game changer for me as far as like what can be done musically.
Yeah, so you went the reverse route. You went Dead & Co., then Grateful Dead.
Yeah, I know I'm going to get a lot of slack for that one there, but, having not been alive when Jerry was around, I just wasn't exposed to it. My parents didn't listen to it or anything like that. My parents are, top 40 kind of Radiohead, so it's like I never really got that musical experience that a lot of, like, young bluegrass musicians get, where it's like they were raised on bluegrass. This is what their family does. That's their recreation is, picking.
Yeah.
And so, from Grateful Dead kind of stuff, I started, I think I stumbled on Billy Strings video that was like him playing, Loser or something like that.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, man, this guy's pretty good. So I started listening more and more to Billy Strings, and I was like, hey, I think I like bluegrass.
Yeah.
So I put down...
So you started on an electric guitar, I'm guessing?
Yeah.
And then you went to acoustic?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I started on a Strat, and that was like my main thing. Just wanted to be just like Steve Ray Vaughan. And now I'm picking on a D18, trying to be like Billy Strings and Tony Rice, and listen to all those guys.
Cool. I keep hearing that name. So I've been doing this podcast now for about a month, and I'd heard the name Tony Rice a couple times, but didn't really know anything about him. And that seems to be a name that people keep coming back to, and they're like, I'm into bluegrass, Tony Rice licks. So
Yeah.
I hear that everybody really likes him, so I need to kind of do a deep dive into Tony Rice, I think.
He's like the quintessential bluegrass guitar player. Everyone says like, try to play not like Tony Rice, because everyone plays like Tony Rice. In fact, when he was still alive, people would be going to festivals dressed like him, where they have like the gold little bracelet that he's got there. They're wearing a suit. They got the mustache that he has. Picking the same guitar he has. Everyone wants to be Tony Rice. No one ever will be Tony Rice, but we can try our best.
Yeah,
So
hell yeah. So how old are you?
I'm 27.
27. Okay, gotcha. So you were allowed to drink the beer.
Yeah, I'm allowed to drink the beer. Yeah.
I have the sponsorship with like a local brewery, so like I usually share a beer with someone, but obviously no pressure or anything. So I'm glad you did say no. I wasn't here giving 18-year-olds beer. That's crazy, man. That's really cool. So as far as for Pickety Split, what's the? I know you guys are still super in your infancy stage, but what's the goal for you guys?
Well, I would like to get, I just love playing. I'm not as much into like the recording side. I love to just get up and play music.
Okay.
And so I'd love to just get more gigs and play around. I played at Merle Fest. I played at the Bluegrass Island Festival. And after that, I was like, this would be a really cool thing if we could get to like getting invited to Merle Fest level with my own band playing my own music.
So so it's you two, and then who else is in that band?
Currently, my aunt plays bass and the fiddle player.
Okay, gotcha. So there's just 4 of you guys.
Yeah.
Who's singing?
Me.
Do you write your own songs, or is it all
I
covers
do.
right now?
Own songs.
Write me, take me through that like songwriting process. Does the music come first for you? Lyrics come first?
No, I usually get the chords, or I'll have an idea. I'm like, I want to write a song about this, because usually I write my songs based on experiences I have in real life. So I'll do something, or I'll see something like that just put an idea on my head for a song, and then I'll usually like lay out a tune or a chord progression or something. And then I'll slap lyrics on top of it, and I'm like, that doesn't sound good. So then we'll change the chords, and then, usually I start with the chords and go from there. Gotcha.
So you're still, like, so young into playing music, too. What is your long-term goals? I mean, like, the future's kind of whatever you want to make of it right now. What's kind of long-term goal for you?
I don't know. I'd love to just be able to play it full-time, It's really all I love doing is just playing.
Are you going to be out there on lot at all this weekend trying to just bringing your mandolin, trying to pick out there, getting a little circle?
Yeah, we talked about when we were coming up here if we wanted to go jam outside or something.
Okay. Do you guys have any plans for any of the pre-parties, after-parties this week?
Yeah.
We're going to shout out our boys, the Charlotte Bluegrass All-Stars. They're playing today at 4 o'clock.
They're a pre-party.
They're pre-party, 4 to 7. I don't know what brewery, but you can look it up. It's on one of those Billy Strings posters. But they're a killer band. They have a pretty reoccurring gig at Smokey Joe's in Charlotte, and sometimes they'll let us get up there and pick once or twice. So they're really cool guys. Go check those guys out.
So you've been playing music a little bit longer. Have you done were you in any other bands before Pickety Split, or?
Yeah, I was doing a lot of, like, my first band I was in was, like, a blues band, and
Okay.
it was with a bunch of guys that were, like, in their, like, 50s, 60s. I think one guy was, close to his 70s. And I was, the youngest guy just trying to, like, pick some blues with them.
Yeah.
And that was fun. When I was in grad school, I was picking with some guys that were that we all went to school together, all in the same program. And we would just do, like, local brewery gigs playing, like, classic rock covers, few originals, but mostly just, like, classic rock and blues covers.
Okay.
And so this is really the first time now that I'm playing mostly original music that's his music.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things where it's, like, kind of in the same sense of, like, Billy Strings is, it's his band, but everyone knows all his band members. It's like they all believe in his common, like, hey, it's his band, and, like, they're writing the song. I believe in this guy doing the same thing. I think
That's gotta be good to hear, man.
yeah, I mean, I really think, I've played with a lot of musicians, and playing with him has been really it's something that's, I think, been really great for the both of us as far as, like, becoming better musicians overall, not just, like, better, like, jam circle pickers, but just, like, listening to each other and trying to really know what the other one is thinking in that moment of music. Trying to tap into that Grateful Dead stuff is really, really exciting.
Okay, so going off of that, then this is a question for both of you, so I guess you can answer first. When you get into those, like, impromptu jams, and that's not stuff that you're, like, when you're at practice the night before, you're not like, hey, after this song, I'm gonna jam for 3 minutes and then you can jump in. How does that kind of, like, that, like, almost language that you were talking about, how does that look like when you guys are on stage?
It's really something that, we play a lot together. We practice a lot together, whether it's structured practice or just jamming. And sometimes it comes out in really beautiful ways where it's like, I'm going to play a lick and then he's going to play something that's maybe not quite the same, but is along that same, like, rhythmic motif, and kind of just going back and forth until something happens. And that's not to say, we really just started playing jam-type music really when we met each other. So there's still a lot of times where we might fall on our face and it's not going to go as well as we want it to. But I think there's a lot to be said about, putting yourself out there in that situation and just, like, going for it. And, if it doesn't always work out, that's okay. But on the times that it does work out, it's really, really beautiful music.
The moon, I bet.
yeah, it's a really great feeling.
So you said, before he answers, you did say sometimes it doesn't always work out, like how you plan in your head. Have you guys had an instance where you're just like, oh, we fucked this one up?
Not live, really. I think live we try to rehearse it, not in the sense of, like, we're doing exactly this, but, like, we're going to start like this, and then we're going to move into this, and then we're going to, end on this. So there's a flow for it. And the guys with Humphreys McGee, they do that. Fish does that, where it's a little more structured.
Okay.
And once you play together for a while, it doesn't have to be so structured. But, like, when we've been jamming and practicing, there's times where it's just like, that was maybe a little rougher than we wanted it to be. But, it's still, it is what it is. You can't do it unless you try. So.
Okay. So to you, Cooper, it's kind of the same question I asked him. When you guys go into that jam, you being the front man, you're kind of like leading those jams. What's going through your mind when Luke wants to hop in or the fiddle player wants to hop in?
Yeah, usually when we jam, we try to keep it pretty equal. I'll take a couple minutes and just solo and riff and stuff, and then I'll look at Luke, we'll make eye contact, and I'll kind of, go into a rhythm section, and then he knows that since I'm playing rhythm, he's like, oh. And since I'm looking at him, he's like, oh, I can go off now. Gotcha. And so then he'll start playing whatever he's feeling, and I'll try and complement that with my rhythm. Okay. Because I think usually whoever's, like, soloing, everyone else tries to follow them.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So. Gotcha. So back to you, Luke. The High Point thing, what'd you study there?
I'm a physical therapist, so okay. I was doing my doctorate there.
Gotcha. So that's a pretty, that's a career.
Yeah.
With playing music, like, is it hard to balance that thing? And if the music thing were to take off, is that something you'd be willing to drop for music?
Yeah. It's something I definitely went to school, spent the money for it, got the degree. It's a nice job.
Secure.
It's a secure job. I can kind of get a job, wherever I go. Mm-hmm. I love music, though. Music is definitely my passion. Okay. If something were to come up where it was to be something that I thought was, like, financially responsible to also, like, follow with music, I think I would try and go do music a little more frequently. But I mean, right now I like being a physical therapist. It's a good job, and theoretically, if we were to like move to Nashville or something like that, I can go do the same thing there, and it's no big deal.
Yeah, that is a cool thing that physical therapists are kind of needed everywhere. So you can definitely like go back and do that while you're doing your music. Like you said, if you move anywhere, I'm kind of in the same boat now. Like we were kind of talked about it before we started recording, but I do like sales in the semiconductor industry, and it just kind of like fell in my lap during COVID, and I was just getting out of college and needed a job, and like I've had some success in it, and now I'm like, how can I get out of doing this?
Yeah.
So I mean, my situation is not the same as yours. It sounds like you enjoy your job, but
it's a job. It's still spending 40 hours a week somewhere where I'd probably rather be picking 40 hours a week. But I think also having a job allows me to not be so stressed about the music part of it, and allow it to be a little bit more fun, because it's not paying my bills. I'm not relying on that solely to try and keep myself afloat. So yeah, as long as I keep my PT license active, I can kind of just always have that as a good falling back point if the whole music thing isn't where we want it to be at the moment.
Yeah, for sure. So Cooper, back to you. Sorry, I only have one microphone, guys. So you just being 18, are you have plans to go to school or have plans to work, or is it just like I'm gonna try music for a little while?
I'm about to graduate a community college with a HVAC diploma, and I didn't really want to go to college. I didn't feel drawn to it, but I build houses right now for a living, and
fun.
It's general contracting, so we just kind of go around and build additions, and once I'm done with the college thing, I'll probably just try and get my HVAC license and just do that.
Do you get to see some like crazy houses?
Yeah, sometimes. I was in a house one time that I had to go in the crawl space, and I get up under there and all the insulation's falling down. It's moldy. It also had a cockroach infestation. Oh. And so I had to put on this like Tyvek suit, and so I just felt like an astronaut crawling through insulation and cockroaches. So you get some pretty fun adventures doing general contracting and stuff.
But I'm sure so I used to do landscape when I was like in college in the summers, and that was like I kind of really enjoyed it, because like you get to a place and like the lawn's a piece of shit, lawn grass, everything, and then like an hour and a half later you're like, looks good.
Yeah, it's satisfying.
Yeah, so it's probably pretty cool. Like you get to a lot and like we want to build this addition, and then like a month or so later it's like.
Yeah, it's really cool to see the transformation of there was not this here when we started, and now it's here.
Cool. Okay, so. Some of you guys do originals, you guys do covers. Do you have is there any specific covers that you enjoy playing the most?
Me personally, I think you enjoy it too, but I love taking like an old classic bluegrass song and kind of just like amping it up, making it more hyped up, lively. Like we do one Fireball Mail. Okay. Like it's just a classic little banjo tune, but once you really like amp it up and put a lot into it, it's a really cool song. Okay. And so I like to take those old bluegrass songs that you don't hear that much, or you do, and just like kind of redo
slow,
them. Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
That's fun.
What about you?
I like taking, first of all, I think our favorite cover that we do is Reuben's Train, definitely. Okay. Because we do like to, essentially in the line of what Billy Strings and other jamgrass guys are doing is taking, those typical bluegrass standards and jamming on them. So you can take a Reuben's Train and, jam it out into a 14-minute something. Yeah. Coming back into Reuben's Train or something like last night when they had this like 5-song jam sandwich, but they ended on Riding on the Midnight Train, and they just jammed so perfectly into that. I really, really like doing stuff like that, where it's a classic bluegrass song that...
you lead into another classic song.
Yeah.
That was the last song, right?
That was the last song, okay. Yeah.
I'm about to pull up the set list real quick, see what we have.
Yeah, it was a nasty set list. That jam at the end was really it just kept going and going.
Yeah. All right, so last night we had In the Clear, Sally Johnson. I like just a lot of train songs.
Yeah.
My Alice, That Train That Carried My Girl From Town, Black Mountain Rag. I've never heard that Brain Damage song, I don't think.
It's Pink Floyd.
That's why I haven't heard. I don't really. Are you guys big Pink Floyd guys?
I like Pink Floyd. I've listened to Pink Floyd, but I wouldn't say, I love David Gilmour. He's a great guitarist, but they're, not one of my, someone I put on frequently.
Yeah, I never really got that into them. And I feel like he covers songs sometimes that I wish I liked, because like that, he covers "Nutshell" by Alice in Chains,
Yeah.
and he did that at New Year's in New Orleans, and I was there, and like everybody who knew the song was like screaming every word, and I was like, I like this version of it, but I don't really care for the song that much.
Yeah.
I was like,
I
kind of
feel
bummed.
the same way about that song,
Yeah.
where it's like, I'm really not, I guess, whatever Allison changes, if it's metal, I don't know, someone might hate me for saying that, I don't know what it is, but it's not my genre of music that I prefer to listen to, so I don't, but
I really liked the Blind Melon, the No Ring.
Oh, the No Ring, yeah.
He started playing it, and I was like, I know this song, and then he started singing. I was like, oh yeah. It's one I never thought he would cover, so that one kind of took me by surprise.
Yeah.
So pretty solid first set though. It's got a 7 Weeks in County too.
That was really good.
Yeah, that's a great song. And then set 2 comes out with Red Rockin' Chair. That's like my favorite Doc Watson song. Jealous because I probably won't get one of those next week. Fire on My Tongue Must Be 7. Psycho.
That's when it started, right? That jam.
Yeah.
Psycho is one of my favorite.
You like the Psycho? I don't know who wrote that originally.
Eddie something. Psycho. It's Eddie. Eddie Nowak.
Eddie Novak.
Yeah. But I do like when Billy Strings sings it, but I do like, that's probably one of the few songs that he covers I like the original better. But it's kind of a really weird and dark song too.
It is. It's really, the lyrics are rather startling when you first hear it. But yeah.
And then Salty Dog Blues. I don't think I know that one either.
It's an old Flat and Scruggs too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the thing too, is like, I didn't really get too. So I was a Grateful Dead. Like, I got into Grateful Dead when I was like 19 or 20 in college. And I was just like all Grateful Dead for like, there's so much music to get into there. It's like all I listened to for like 2 years. And then when I got out of college, I moved to Richmond in Virginia and started going to a lot of shows, and that's kind of when I got into Billy. So some of these bluegrass songs are still new to me. Okay. So many of them, learning them all.
No, I feel the same way though.
Yeah.
I've only been playing bluegrass, a year and a half or 2 years. Cooper's been playing, bluegrass about 3 years. So you can go to a jam and be like, I'm gonna kill this jam. I got everything ready, and someone just calls a song you've literally never heard before in your life. Some deep cut. Especially if you're playing with those higher level guys. Cooper can kind of speak to that. Some of those bands he's played with at the festivals, they're filled with really, really great pickers, and they just know every song under the sun. You're like, I guess I'll go home and learn that one, put in my notes app, and learn it later.
I'll know a song too. Like, I listen to like shows on Nugs, and I'll just go to like Shuffle on Spotify. And just kind of listen, like not really pay attention, just listen to songs. So I'll learn the words and everything, and someone's like, "Oh, do you like this song?" I'm like, "I have no idea that song." And they play the song. I'm like, "Oh yeah, of course I know that."
Right. Yeah, of course.
So outside of jam and bluegrass, what do you guys like to do?
I like hiking. That's
okay.
I actually used to live in Nashville. I was here like until July of this year or last year, and I love the hiking out here. It's really, really great. In my free time right now, I'm learning Spanish.
Okay, nice.
Trying to be as fluent as I can for that.
What are you doing, Duolingo?
No, Duolingo sucks. I'm gonna plug Dreaming Spanish.
Spanish?
It is.
Dreaming Spanish. You can sponsor me.
Yeah, there is no vocab learning. There is no like memorizing flashcards. All you do is watch videos in Spanish, and like if you have basic high school level Spanish, you can start from there like very beginner, and you'll understand it. And it's using the same concept of the way that babies learn to talk. Like toddlers don't study flashcards; they just learn. Humans never actually lose that ability throughout their life to learn a language that same way. Okay. It takes a lot of hours. You think of like a child is getting probably 12 hours of input per day from their parent. Yeah. And then that's going to carry on throughout later in life. Whereas I can do maybe like 30 minutes to an hour a day. So the process is it's a little slower, and I'm not as consistent as I'd like to be, but I'm doing pretty okay with it.
So you're basically learning 2 languages right now between bluegrass and Spanish.
Very much so. And I do compare the learning of a language a lot to learning music in the same way of like learning. You asked him earlier, like, can you pick up a song on YouTube and just learn it by ear? That's a skill that you have, and the more you transcribe, the better you get at it. But it's the same thing as like, bluegrass vocabulary is kind of like maybe a language of like Spanish versus Italian, and it's like you need to know what to choose in that right context to make the conversation flow.
For sure, yeah. I'm just a fan, not a musician at all, and that's like why I started this, because I was like, I want to learn more about the music and the people in the music. And like even my first interview was a guy named Alex Bazemore, and he was talking about transcribing music, and I was like, what does that even mean? I was like, I don't even know what that means. So it's been cool, like from here to now, and just doing all these interviews with different guitar players. It does kind of seem like a language, the way you guys like teach yourself. A lot of it's self-taught, it seems like too. I mean, some of the guys I've talked to have had lessons, but you have to do so much on your own to learn guitar.
I think one of the best ways to learn the language of bluegrass is going to jams.
Yeah.
Because like I remember the way that I really learned how to speak it. My first band I ever joined was called the Catawba River Boys.
Okay.
And it was these older guys, and they knew all these deep cut songs and songs I never heard. And when I'm sitting there at the jam watching them, or on the stage while we're playing, and watching how they would do stuff, because they've been doing it since they were like 10 or whatever, and just watching them and then being there with them, I think is the best way to learn and really grasp it, is just from doing it with other people.
Yeah. So what do you like to do other than
I really just like to explore. I used to longboard a lot, so my grandma kind of lived on the lake, but there were also some woods and some back roads, and so I'd love to longboard, listen to music and stuff. I'd love to travel to like the beach or go to the mountains and just see things.
So what kind of music do you like outside of bluegrass?
Really not much. I like some country. I used to. The funny thing is,
So when you say country, what do you mean? Like Sturgill Simpson?
like
or King
Johnny
Chester?
Cash,
Okay,
like
Johnny
the old
Cash.
country. And the funny thing is, before I did the mandolin, I used to like EDM music and like rave music. I used to know how to work a little DJ board.
Really?
And then I did a complete 180 to bluegrass. But I like.
What kind of EDM do you like?
There was a guy called the Fat Rat I really liked. Dead Mouse, I liked him. Just a bunch of those people. I've actually taken some EDM songs and turned them into like a bluegrass fiddle tune kind of thing.
I was going to say, like, so you learned the turntables first. How did that like influence or help your guitar playing?
I really don't think it did, honestly.
Okay, it's good.
Yeah, I just after I switched, I was like, I don't really think anything from my EDM turntable crossed over.
Yeah, I asked that question for like waiting for some like super wise answers. Like, not shit, actually.
No, it really didn't do anything.
What was I going to say? I had it. Oh well. So back to Luke. You said you do a lot of hiking, and you live in Charlotte, right?
Yeah, I'm living in Charlotte right now.
So where do you do a lot of your hiking? Do you come back over here?
I would either come back over here. Crowder's Mountain is one place. There's not all the best hiking near Charlotte as much as there is here.
Yeah.
What I used to love to do, I lived over by Sweeten Creek, right by that Publix. And I would just go up on the Blue Ridge and just find an entry point that connects on the trail, that on the Mountain to Sea Trail. And sometimes it was just like you go out and back and there's no connection. But the points where there was connections, you could go for, 20 miles if you wanted to.
Yeah.
I didn't always really want to. But yeah, there's a lot of really great spots just up on the Blue Ridge. You can just pull off anywhere and go. There's a cool little beach somewhere in the mountains there.
How long did you live here for?
Oh, barely over a year. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
And then,
I've only been here. I moved here right after Helene.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I moved right before.
Okay.
I moved to Charlotte. And my girlfriend's living there, so now we're living in Charlotte. Yeah.
Have you done any cool hikes like out west or anything?
Yeah, actually. I did my undergrad at Cal State East Bay, which is up in the Bay Area.
Okay.
And a lot of cool hikes up by the Redwoods, over by Santa Cruz.
Did you go anywhere in Oregon?
No, never made it up to Oregon. Furthest north I went was like Humboldt and like Arcata.
Did you go to Shasta at all?
No, didn't make it to Shasta.
I lived in southern Oregon. I lived in Bandon for a little bit.
Okay, cool.
And I had an internship out there, and I went to Shasta. Actually, I went to Shasta on a road trip with a buddy, but I went to like Redwoods, Crater Lake, all that stuff when I was there. Just stick out there.
Yeah, I love it. Where?
Is that a mountain?
Yeah, it's like
It's a big lake, and there's like a big, huge ass mountain.
Where is it?
It's northern California.
Yeah, Northern California. Is that where? Isn't it up by Mammoth? Mammoth Lakes and Mammoth
I think
Mountain.
so, maybe. It's actually funny because like the town is called Weed.
Oh yeah, there's Weed, California. Yeah, I have not been through Weed, California.
Yeah.
But it would be a fun place to go.
Yeah, I think I went in like 2018 maybe, to 17 maybe.
Okay.
And it was like kind of when weed was first becoming legal out there. and we were like driving down the highway, and there was a big sign, like billboard, was like free weed here, and we were like, oh, we gotta go, and it was just like, or it was legal weed here, and we're like, we gotta go check it out, and it was just like a beer, like a brewery had like a legal weed beer, and I was like, they got us.
They got you. Yeah. That's okay. Good marketing though.
All right, guys, so you're here for today and tomorrow still. So this episode is coming out probably Thursday, so that would be February 13th. So we're recording this Friday, February 17th. So you guys still have 2 days here. What's on the agenda for you other than the Billy String show?
A lot of picking.
Yeah, a lot
probably.
of picking. I kind of wanted to explore, because he's lived here, so I kind of wanted to go see the area a little bit. We wanted to hit that, what's that place called where they sell the...
All right, he wants to go to his first Shakedown Street.
Yeah, the Shakedown Street thing.
Definitely check that out.
We wanted to go to a music store. I'm kind of looking for a new mandolin at the moment, so
Okay.
we were thinking maybe hit that.
There's a pretty cool antique store downtown that has some good... I was in there the other day just checking out. They had quite a few guitars. I don't know if they had any mandolins, but they had some nice guitars.
Yeah.
And then... I don't know where else the mandolin, but there is a bunch of good shakedown stuff. Asheville Music Hall is doing it's called a Fuzzy Rainbow Fest, but it's basically just like a bunch of vendors and stuff. And then where the concert was last night, so I don't know. So at the front entrance where the statues are, is that where you guys went in?
Yeah.
Okay. So if you go if you're looking straight out there and go behind, there's a street called Wall Street, and they're doing a big shakedown there. And in the parking lot over there, so you should be able to find stuff.
Cool.
Oh yeah.
And I'll probably be out there tonight. Definitely be out there tomorrow.
Nice. I think we also wanted to go to some cool nature scenes and record some videos for Instagram and just do some picking out there. Speaking of that, reminded me, have you ever been there's this road that I take when I go to Tennessee through the mountains, and it's called the Tail of the Dragon.
I have not.
It is the coolest thing. It's this crazy, insane, windy mountain road, and it's so crazy that there's a whole little thing built around it. There's a gift shop on there that they sell Tail of the Dragon merch for this mountain road.
Take it to Nashville. We can go that way.
No, I don't think so. But it has some really cool spots. It looks like you're in Norway, because on the right there's a big mountain and then a huge river, and on the left you got these cool woods. I'm
yeah, there's a lot of really cool nature out here. Some of it's still recovering from the storm, but there's a lot of really cool stuff out here.
Yeah.
So going back to the band now, what's on the agenda for you guys this year? You guys got any festivals booked? What's the plan for you guys?
We played on a radio show. And then the people of the radio show actually just recently reached out, and I think they're doing a concert in the park kind of thing, or some kind of nature something. So they want us to play for that, and we were trying to reach out to some breweries in Charlotte.
Yeah.
A couple of them got back to us, but some of them didn't. So we were trying to get to that Charlotte area, because we know there's a lot of cool places to play, and we all live around Charlotte. So we're that might be a good place to start.
Would you guys come out here for a show?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I know people up here. And
yeah, I was about to say, I'm sure One World or somebody would be happy to get you guys in there.
Yeah.
I know everything's kind of crazy. I had a couple of friends from Florida that are coming up here. They're like, hey man, can you see if you could help get us book shows for anything during Billy Week? And I was like, dude, you're way too late for that.
Right.
That's all good.
This should have been a conversation a while ago.
Yeah,
right.
It was I think it was 2 or 3 weeks ago. I'm I'm sorry, man. I wish I could help.
Yeah. Oh, but tell them about the album.
Oh yeah, we were gonna be releasing an album
on a podcast. And you gonna leave out the album, man? What's the promotions?
Yeah, we were supposed to do it. It was the first week.
First weekend of January.
The first weekend of January, but our recorder got sick.
Mm-hmm.
So we're actually thinking about doing it the first week in March.
Okay.
But yeah, it's we were gonna do a 5-song EP and all originals and stuff, because people have come up and asked me do you have an album? You should make an album.
Can we listen to it anywhere? Is it on YouTube or anything?
It's not out yet. We haven't. I was waiting to record it with the studio guy before I started putting it out there, but I think you might be able to find a couple of me playing some of the songs from it on a live little something on Instagram.
So if you search Cooper, how do you say your last name?
Cooper Eads.
Eades.
Yes.
If you search that on YouTube, you might be able to find you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think there's a video of
let's
us
see
playing
real
it.
quick. Let's see. So you guys brought your instruments today too. Did you want to play something?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir. Yeah.
Okay. All right, guys, welcome back. We had a quick break to tune our instruments, but we're back with Cooper and Luke, and they're gonna go ahead and pick us something. Enjoy. All right, we're back. Thank you, guys. That was awesome. That was fun.
Yeah, a lot of fun. Yeah.
And you wrote that song?
Yes.
Nice. What was that song called?
That was called Feeling I Got New.
Feeling I Got New. You're a really good singer, man, too.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, dude, that was a lot of fun. Before we wrap up, is there anything you guys want to plug or anything?
Oh, shoot. What should we plug?
So we do got that album coming out. Once we record that, we're going to put that on all of our socials. You can follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Pickety Split.
TikTok.
And on
Pickety
TikTok
Split.
now. We're on TikTok.
That's right.
Thankfully, it didn't get banned, so we can we can keep promoting there.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, guys. Well, that was awesome. Thanks so much.
Hey,
Thank you.
That was legitness. Yeah, it was. Huh?
Alrighty, welcome back from that fun interview with Cooper and Luke. Hope you guys enjoyed their little jam there at the end. That was fun. How we doing, Chloe?
Hello, Clint. I'm doing great.
It is your guys' favorite time of the week. Chloe's Corner.
Everybody get comfy. Everybody get cozy. We are fresh off of a work shift, and we
Seriously.
are.
We are
And
not
we are-
high tonight.
No, I
Not yet.
have my poke bowl next to me. We are just gonna power through this little guy.
Late day for the both of us. I'm usually home by 5 at the latest. I didn't get home till like 7 today. Chloe got home
My
10
usual
minutes
time,
ago.
yeah. About 7:50, 8 o'clock. So I wanted to start out. I finally listened through Bob's entire new album. So Bob is a friend of mine that I work with in the ICU. He is in a band, The Big Hungry. They are a local Asheville band. They released a new album at the beginning of the year, and I finally listened through it. I had kept telling him, I'm working my way through. Finally finished it today. I have a couple favorites that I went ahead and liked so that I could say the names of them. Slip was definitely my favorite. Super cool, pretty jammy. Gave me like,
What's the album called again?
it's called Can't Find My Way.
By, what was the band name?
The Big Hungry. So Slip reminds me, what's that one like reggae jam band?
What's their, I'm sorry, what was the name of the band again?
The Big Hungry.
Can't Find My Way, Big Hungry?
Yes.
Okay, sorry. The reggae, what were you saying?
The reggae jam band. That you like. Time Mom, bim, bim.
Oh, Iration?
Yeah, so that gives me that
I
vibe,
don't know
but
if I'll call
without.
them a jam band.
I don't know what they're considered. But that gives me that vibe, but without the reggae.
Okay.
So
So I'm going to listen to this now and come up with my own interpretation.
I also liked Without a Plan, and then Can't Find My Way was also really good. Honestly, and Shine and Let Me When I'm Gone. They were very good. Truthfully, Bob, I haven't listened to Beers and Tears yet. I'm just now realizing I'm one from being done, and that was the one he told me that he...
Does Bob listen?
Yes, he says he does.
Okay.
Just like I say that I listened to his album, though. So, I don't know if it's true, but yeah, so a little plug for Bob. Good friend of mine. We work together as, surprise, surprise, nurses.
Male nurse.
I don't think I've announced that on here yet. But that's my plug. That's my plug for today. And then I have to hit you with a truth. We made a deal that if you pick up the dog poop, I will start my garden.
You know, I wasn't going to bring it up. I was like, I'm not going to put her on blast. I'll let her do this.
I will be an honest woman. I did not start my garden. In my defense,
I was going to say, in your defense,
my shovel got here yesterday.
your shovel got here yesterday. I didn't pick up the poop till like mid-Saturday. And then we left to go record the lot pods. And then we went out that night. And then Sunday
was Super Bowl day.
and we were kind of just laying low. So, and you've worked every day this week except for Tuesday, right?
Yeah.
Tuesday. So, you get another chance this weekend if the weather holds up.
If the weather holds up, the weather looks terrible. It might just be a sign that winter is probably not the best time to start a garden.
So you just had me out there picking poop up for no reason.
I just needed someone to pick up the poop, you know? Did you count how many you got?
It was at least 20.
Yeah.
20
Yeah. Kid does. Oh, hi, puppy. He does most of his poops on our W's, so he is not deprived of space. But they pile up out there. But I didn't start my garden. I thought I would be honest. I will try again.
This is like I thought I'd be honest about this.
I'm really sorry. I contemplated not telling anybody and just dropping it. But I was like, what kind of person would I be if I lived a life of sin and lied by omission? So I'll get on it, guys. Eventually I'll have a garden.
Okay, well, when you do that. I need you guys to start spamming Chloe on her Instagram or on comments. Where's the garden?
Where are the jalapenos? You don't even like spice.
It's true, she doesn't.
I don't. I'm a wimp. I got spicy mayo on this, took one bite. I think I regret it already on my poke bowl.
Should have got Chipotle like me.
Yeah, I've been craving sushi though.
The dude
You
hooked it
got
up
one.
today too. The guy who gave me the chicken, like he had fat. They asked me when I checked out, like, is this double chicken? And I was like, no.
Yeah,
I was like,
I didn't ask for
I was
it.
like,
It
homie
might
just hooked
be.
me up. The guac looked disgusting, but I didn't get guac today. They did have the vinaigrette finally though. They never have it
It's
that
about
one.
damn
They
time.
never have it.
I
there.
went to this Chipotle the other day. We thought we were lucky because this Chipotle is 10 minutes from our house. We go there at least once a week. I went in the other day. No steak, no lettuce, no corn.
They didn't have black beans today.
What are they doing?
I like pinto. Like I'm not mad if I can't get black. I'm okay with the pinto beans.
I also order chicken. I don't care if they don't have steak, but why don't you have steak? You are Chipotle.
You got to talk to the higher ups, right?
Always no vinaigrettes, which I wasn't onto the vinaigrettes until you turned me onto them, and it's fucking fire. So, gotta find a way to make the vinaigrette. Do you have my Sprite? No, I haven't.
Yeah, it's right down there. It's not a Sprite. It is a Devil's Foot lemon lime soda.
Not Sprite. Devil's Foot Lemon Lime.
They do have those.
Listen to the pop of it. Oh, dude. The Alex Bazemore Isaac Haddon show.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
That was a
so
fun one. That was a sick venue too. I'd never been
yeah,
there.
that was at the Third Room. We had never been there. Also, didn't know that it was going to be Alex playing with Isaac. Their names are kind of hard to say.
I think I messed up on Monday's episode. I said Isaac's. I think I said Isaac's Haddon.
Isaacs.
But it's weird because when I do the podcast, I always,
Isaac's Bayston.
when I do the podcast, I always I will be like in my bed ready to go to sleep, and I'll just be like, "Oh, you fucked up that one word today," and then I listen back to the podcast. So I've been doing that lately, listening to them, so I can maybe get better. Because I feel like my interviewing is sometimes I leave. There's a time I could ask a right question to keep things going, and I'm so set on asking the questions I already have written down that I lose that opportunity.
Yeah.
So I've been trying to listen to the podcast back a little bit, which is so hard to do. It's so cringe.
I haven't listened to a single Chloe's Corner. I
It made me
will
laugh
listen
last
to
week.
yeah.
Yeah, it was funny last week.
I do think I listened to last week's. Okay, so what? This is our third. I didn't listen to the first one.
This would be our fourth, I think. But the first one was really short. It was
The first one, yeah, I was unprepared. We filmed it a day early.
I mean, I still feel like I'm unprepared doing this, but I was like, I feel like I kind of have momentum right now, though. We've got some good interviews lined up. The Lot podcast did good. People are, starting to know who we are a little bit more, know about the podcast. I feel like we have some
Yeah,
momentum.
you had someone come up to you the other day, and you were like, "Oh, the podcast guy."
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah,
That was
was
pretty cool.
crazy.
Yeah.
That's pretty fun. That's
Yeah.
fun.
And I think I kind of alluded to this in the beginning of this episode, but we're trying to do another Lot podcast this weekend. We have better equipment now, so I hope that helps, but kind of weather permitting. But we're thinking about doing during set break and outside the venue in line and maybe concessions, shit like that. After the show, just quick interviews.
Yeah,
so we'll see how all
before
that
the
comes
show.
out, but hopefully Monday we can do that. If not, we got another good interview for you anyways.
But going back
Yeah,
to
I just totally interrupted you, sorry.
we're working on it. Going back to the Isaac's Baseman show, Baysden show. super fucking crazy. They played together so damn well. And I think
Isaac's a really good singer, too.
Isaac has a lovely voice.
Yeah, I didn't realize because he didn't sing the first time we saw him at...
Isaac, what I have noticed I admire about him as a musician is he loves when other people are shining. He is like when Alex would go off, Isaac had the biggest smile on his face. In that band Smut, when that girl would like...
New Dawn Starkestra now.
New Dawn Starkestra.
Yeah.
When the singer would like belt a note, he was all for it. Like, he loves when other people shine. And I think that's
cool
such
dude.
a nice quality.
We ran into him a couple times this weekend, too.
Yeah, we did. But that venue, Third Room, was super cool.
That face on the wall is nutso.
And as she blinks, I agree with Hannah.
I was about to say,
energy
I'm
from
still
her.
not stuck on whether it's a man or a woman. I can't tell.
I think you can through the cheeks. We'll go back there and we'll get you on a little something, and you'll see the feminine energy she radiates.
Okay.
It
Fair
maybe
enough.
was also like the plants and like the waterfalls that were on her.
What was your favorite interview on Lot Saturday?
Ooh, okay. I adore Forrest. You were interviewing someone when he came over to the table, and he was kind of like stood in the back a little bit like...
Just right.
Oh, you drank? No, not... or Devil's Foot bottled beverage. He was kind of stood off to the side and everything, and I came over and started talking to him, and he was like, I think I'm gonna speak. Like, I think I have something worth saying. And I was like, that's awesome. Like, what is like striking you right now? And he was kind of telling me a bit of his story. You know, he had mentioned he has schizophrenia, and I just think that is like crazy that we gave him a platform that he was comfortable to speak on and be like, I have something that might help someone out there.
Yeah, that took balls for sure.
Yeah.
Like, granted, this isn't like a huge podcast, but I mean, he doesn't know that when he
he put it out into the world, and he offered a hand, and
yeah, he's a cool dude.
I just really admired that, because that takes strength, and that was super cool. So he was definitely my favorite, but I also really loved Anastasia.
They're in the Russian Frog Brigade.
Yeah, the Russian Frog Brigade. You can see us like in the back corner after the interviews, and we're just like hugging and talking, and like they're giving me bracelets and
I think
stuff.
I heard you guys like say like kiss on 3, and you guys like all kissed her on the cheek or something.
Yeah, we did a group kiss. There was 4 of us. Yeah, we did a group kiss. It was nice. Yeah, it was just, there's such good vibes out there at the moment. It's just nice. There's such nice energy. And
it was like, even though we missed every show, it's still just like we had to hang out there.
Everyone that came up to us was like excited and happy and fun.
How about that couple?
That
was insane.
I don't know what they thought that our podcast was.
Yeah, at least the other guy, the guy before them, like he had something he wanted to talk about, and he even was like, "What even is this without a community?" Like he was, you know, making a good point, and they just came like out of left field. This is our problem. She won't love me.
I mean, if we give like Dr. Phil therapy vibes,
that is not the goal of this. I'm just kidding.
No, you're right. That's not the goal of this. But thank you too for coming up and sharing with
everybody
sharing with us.
I'm glad they did, because it was funny, and it's cool for like people who aren't into the scene. You know, they kind of get to get a snippet of it.
I am not gonna praise you.
Yeah, that was a crazy line.
That was funny, but that was super fun. I'm excited to find a way to do it again this weekend, even if it is just little snippets.
I guess we could even buy like a little. We threw away our canopy, didn't we? But I could set one of those up and go under it.
Oh yeah, we did. We threw that away after Billy New Year's. That thing was clapped out. We did not need to bring that.
Yeah, it's true. It's like a hazard almost.
It flew away.
It did.
It flew away. We went somewhere.
This was in New Orleans.
This was in New Orleans.
And it was windy as hell too.
And the camping
neighbors.
was literally just an open lot behind the arena.
Yeah.
And we did get to be pretty good friends with the people around us. Love them all. Shouts out Matthew. Shouts out everyone that was there. But our canopy did fly away at one point, and
luckily the homies took care of it.
The homies tied it down. Yeah. They had like jerry-rigged these strings from the top of it, and they were like, well, we didn't want it to fly away. So Yeah,
Then
we need
threw
to
it
do
away.
one of those, huh?
Do you got anything else for us?
Yeah. I just found out that frozen rain is a meteorological event. Is that the right word? Meteorological.
I think so, yeah.
Frozen rain is not just snow. Frozen rain, I look like an idiot
I still
when
like...
these people said this
So
to
yes,
me.
explain it real quick. 'Cause you explained it to me and it kind of made sense, but kind of not.
It definitely makes sense, but it doesn't. You do not need to have a term. It's just rain that then freezes. So it's raining and then it freezes on the ground. But
see, wouldn't that just be rain then that freezes?
remember when we first moved here and it started snowing and I was like, "Oh my god, it's snowing."
Yeah.
You're like, "It's just heavy rain." It was actual snow. We got like what, 3 inches of
No, we
snow
did
that
not get
night?
3 inches of snow that
We
night.
did too. I sent videos to Wyatt. Shouts out Wyatt. I love you.
He is a 2-year-old child.
That's the older one.
Oh man, Jackson's the other one. Sorry,
Yeah,
I always
he's
forget
like-
him.
9 or 11. Don't listen to this, Wyatt. I'm sorry. I don't know your age. He just had a birthday, though. So happy birthday. I love you. But, yeah, so Frozen Rain, I was, like, talking to my friends at work about, they were like, "Oh, my God, it's supposed to, like, be such terrible weather this week." And I was like, I hate driving in the snow. Found that out. Hate driving when it's cold enough to be ice. And they're like, "Oh, yeah, there's going to be frozen rain." And I full on scoffed and I was like, "Snow?" Like, even I know that word, guys. Snow? They're like, "No, it's completely different." I'm terrified to drive in the cold. I'm
You know there's a
scared
thing
of
called graupel too?
it. Gravel?
Graupel. Graupel. Snowflakes that have become coated in ice.
This is just double snowflakes?
I guess. How rare is graupel?
Is that not just hail?
Yeah, see, that's what I can hear you munching on the thing.
I'm trying to move it away. ASMR. It's my cucumber.
Yeah, that's what it said though.
Gravel.
Graupel. It's a P.
Oh, grapple.
Yeah, P.
I do think there was more I wanted to say. This is what I'm bad at. I am bad at segueing conversation. I'm like, all right, done with one topic, on to the next.
How do you think I feel when I'm interviewing someone and they're not really giving me a whole lot and I'm like, okay.
Okay.
That's another thing when I listen back to it. I'm like, okay, what people are talking, I'm like, okay, nice. Like I just have these little ad libs.
I think that's fine because when you're interviewing someone, you are like thinking about, in that moment, you are thinking about that person, their conversation. So like you're answering in a proper way.
Yeah, it's 100% a normal thing. But when you hear yourself doing it, you're
yeah.
like,
Oh, yeah.
Ugh.
Like if I were to hear this back, I'd be like, stop fucking saying like.
yeah,
but-
probably. So guys, bear with me. I'm listening to the interviews to get better at interviewing. So hopefully we can get that going. I feel like most of them have been pretty good so far. I would say.
I would say so.
Yeah.
I definitely think so. I would love for you to get Jimmy Law back on in person.
Me too. Yeah. So we got our tickets at Tippers and Friends yesterday, and we
yeah.
talked.
He said he was going to be there.
Yeah. So maybe I'll try to get in touch with him. And
Yeah, maybe
do it
reach
then.
back out. We
That
could
would
do
be a
that
good
there.
one too, because we could talk. We'll be at.
We
Tipper.
could also do it like by Spirit Lake, or we could do it by the river and
Yeah.
make it super scenic and nice and relaxed.
Yeah,
Maybe there'll be someone playing a drum.
So Jimmy, if you're listening,
Hit us up.
hit us up. Whenever we were like setting that up,
Yeah.
because that was the first interview I did through like the virtual thing, so I didn't know like he had uploaded himself too, and he closed the app like halfway through uploading, so I only had half of the footage, and it took me forever to get back in touch with him to have him do it, and I was like, shit, I'm gonna lose all that. But he doesn't answer his like Instagram DMs or anything. He just does it all through his management team, so have to hopefully find him some way.
Gotta find him out in the wild. So we were trying to get into the Billy shows this weekend. But when we couldn't, we came home and we had a really nice emo party.
Oh yeah, we did.
I wonder if you could clip in that video that you
Maybe.
did. But that was so fun and like childish and rejuvenating.
It was fun,
very
yeah.
lovely.
We
We
had
were
a-
a bit bummed. We had FOMO pretty bad
Yeah.
this weekend, not being able to go to any
Especially
of the
when
shows.
you open up that damn Leadfoot on Saturday.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and
You know
what
what?
else
I'm going
did
to
they
change my
get?
intro song because of that. Just kidding.
Oh, you were that lot guy. You were going to put that lot guy in, remember?
Oh, yeah. I might still do that, but...
This kid's doing a podcast.
that was funny. Some kid's doing a lot podcast.
You want to be on a podcast? Come over here.
Yeah, we got there before the vendors did, and they started setting up like a megaphone and a music playing Grateful Dead. You could hear it in a couple of the interviews, I think.
kind of liked it.
Yeah, it was fine, but I was like, this is going to ruin it all. But it was fine, and honestly, it brought people over there, so if anything, it really helped probably.
Yeah. Yeah. So we had a good week. I'm excited as hell to actually see Billy this weekend.
Me too.
I'm gonna
What
have
songs
so
do you
much
want?
fun. I want a Red Daisy. I want to Gild the Lily.
That's what Anastasia said was Red Daisy.
She gave me a Red Daisy bracelet.
Oh, really? I made that post on Instagram. I was like, what song do you want to sing that he didn't play yet?
Yeah, she gave me Gild the Lily. Her friend gave me a Red Daisy, and then there was another girl there. I didn't catch her name, but she gave me a little baby.
They probably all. I think I got like after that Anastasia interview, I got like 6 random girls following me on Instagram. And I was like,
The Frog Brigade. They're there. That was fun.
All right, we're at over 20 minutes now. You got anything else?
I want to eat my pokey.
Yeah, I want to go upstairs.
Okay. Goodbye, everyone. Thank you for cuddling in with me today. See you next time.
Yep, and keep an eye peeled out for us.
Oh, yeah. If you see us on lot,
Friday or Saturday.
come
probably.
find us. Come take a seat.
But even if we're not doing interviews, still come find us. Say hello.
Give us a kiss on the cheek. I might have a trinket for you.
Get yourself a sticker.
I
if you don't
might
have
write
one.
Valentine's, so if you are in need of some love, I'll write you a Valentine's Day card. Okay, that's it for us. I'm hungry.
Alrighty, thank you guys. We will see you guys all again on Monday. And remember, wherever you are right now is exactly where you're supposed to be. Have a great weekend, guys.
Come along, have a drink with me. We can talk about the world and how the world is turned so slow. Oh, oh. Day that I found cars they drive and planes they fly. I look into the sun and the sky, you're so bright. It's you that I have found. Oh, and I know there's not much longer now. Or if the world would just slow